This is the final writing vlog. Before querying, that is. Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am starting another writing vlog, and this vlog is going to be once again about my historical mystery manuscript, Project Dagger, which I will start querying hopefully sometime soon. If you're new here, Project Dagger is my second manuscript, and it is a historical murder mystery set in London, 1930, greatly inspired by Agatha Christie and her contemporaries from the so-called golden age of mysteries. I am on draft 7 of this manuscript, which I think is the same number of drafts that I went through on my last manuscript that I queried, Project Mayfair. So I think it's very close to being done because I'm at the point where I can't think of things that I want to change about the manuscript. I've had the feedback from 11 beta readers, my mom read it, and I've read it so many times. I'm getting to the point where I've reread this manuscript so many times that I'm sick of reading it. And I think when you get to that point where you're like, I can't physically look at this anymore, that's when you know that it's time to take that next step and start submitting to literary agents. But as I have shared in previous vlogs, I am much more apprehensive this time and scared, to be honest, because I already queried once and didn't end up getting a literary agent. So I think there is that fear of pulling the trigger this time because I'm scared, okay, what if I once again don't get a literary agent? Which, let's be honest, is possible. There are so many people who query 2, 3, 4 or more books before they get a literary agent. Not that long ago, I was looking up how I got my agent blog posts, and I saw somebody in their blog share that they started trying to get a literary agent at, I believe, age like 24, and they signed with an agent finally at the age of 38. Now, this person also was battling chronic illness, so it's not like they were actively querying for 14 years, but still, I think that, you know, is a great example of how this thing can take a long time, but that doesn't mean that you're not a good writer or that you're not gonna get a literary agent someday. Of course, though, being a published author is my dream, and I really love Project Dagger, so I want it to get an agent and I want it to get a book deal because I do want to be able to share this story with the world. And self-publishing is not something that I'm personally interested in because I really do want to have the reach of traditional publishing, and also there is just a lot of money and work that goes into self-publishing that I'm just not interested in. So querying literary agents it is. And while I am very scared of failure, I also recognize that at a certain point, you gotta take the plunge. You know, I can't just be delaying this forever because at a certain point, it's as good as it's gonna get and I have to send it out. Or I should say, not as good as it's gonna get, as good as I can get it on my own. Obviously, if I sign with an agent, they'll probably have some more changes and suggestions. And then if I get a book deal, my editor at the publishing house would probably have more changes and suggestions. So it's not done forever, but I think I've taken it as far as I personally can take it. And I've gotten feedback from a lot of people. So at a certain point, it's just time to go. So this vlog is going to be my final Project Dagger writing vlog. I am probably gonna look at it one more time and see if there are any last minute edits or tweaks that I want to make. So that is it for the intro to this vlog, and I hope that you will follow along with me for these last finishing touches before querying. Hello, so here is the update. In my last vlog, I had mentioned that an agented author who I met online offered to read my revised opening for me. After that, she actually said that she was willing to read the entire manuscript if I wanted her feedback. but she said it was probably going to take her a few weeks to get to it. So I said yes, because like, why would I turn down the opportunity to get feedback from someone who writes in my genre and successfully got an agent, right? She actually ended up reading the entire manuscript in less than a week. So ended up being much faster than I anticipated. Thank you to her for that. But now, based on her comments, there are some more things that I need to edit. And to be honest, I was kind of frustrated yesterday because one of the things that she said to me was something that my beta readers had also said. And I thought that I successfully, quote unquote, fixed that in my edits already, but evidently I did not, because she had the same comment. However, I think I figured out what to do about it. It does mean that I'm going to have to edit some scenes I wasn't planning on editing. I said editing weird, but that's okay. I feel like it'll be better if I do this. And obviously I want to make sure that when I query this, it's going to be as good as it can be. So I want to take her comments into account and make sure that I'm addressing this issue. The thing that's really hard for me is like, how do I know that I'm ready to query? Because I feel like the rhetoric nowadays is when you're querying, your book has to be of publishable quality. Yet, people still go through multiple rounds of editing sometimes with their agents. So it's like, if your book is perfect and ready to go right now, what are you editing? And two, like, I'm totally confident in my manuscript, but also like there's never gonna come a point where people read it and they have absolutely zero notes, right? Because that's just not realistic. I mean, haven't you ever read a published book and been like, this book is bad? Or you read it and you're like, hey, it was fine, I guess. I didn't really connect with the characters. It was okay. But clearly those books that you think are bad are just okay. Multiple people in the publishing industry deemed them worthy of publication. So it's like, how do you know that you're ready? Because everybody is going to have a different take. And one person's idea of a perfect book, or an amazing book, I should say, is not going to be the same as the next person. So I don't really know. I feel like my confidence peaked after beta round 1, and it's been downhill since then. But you know, the last time I queried, I thought I was going to get an agent, and I failed. This time I'm worried that I'm not going to get an agent, so maybe I'll succeed? Who the hell knows? I don't know. I do just want to add to what I was saying earlier that the agented author who read the manuscript for me this past week, she did say that the manuscript was one of the most polished / close to being ready manuscripts that she's beta read. So like, don't get me wrong, it's definitely not all doom and gloom here. Like, clearly she did really like it, and the suggestions that she gave me were just to make it stronger. And like I said, I think the really tough thing about knowing when you're ready to query a book is that you're never going to reach a point where all of your beta readers are like, this is perfect, I have absolutely zero notes, because there is no such thing as perfection, and every person has their own preferences. You know, there are published books that I don't like, but they still were capable of being published. Just as there are really great books that don't get published. So part of it is just a leap of faith, and that's what makes the process so difficult. But right now I'm just gonna do the edits that I think I need to do after getting her comments. And then my plan is to do one final read through of the manuscript that I want it to be like I'm reading an actual published book. Because the last time that I reread it, I kept pausing, being like, oh, let me delete this word here, or let me fix this sentence here. No, I want to reread it straight through, or basically like without stopping constantly, as if I was reading a book that somebody else wrote, just to be able to see just how it sounds and not be overanalyzing all this little stuff. So I think I'm gonna get these edits done. I'm gonna read through it really quickly, and then I'm gonna try my luck with a group of about 10 agents. I'm gonna start with a small group, and if like there's no requests, then I know that there's a problem that needs to be fixed. But hopefully I'll get at least one request from that group of 10. And one of the good things about failing at querying in the past is that there are agents who requested my last manuscript who now I can reach out again. Like, I know they clearly like my writing to some degree since they requested last time, and maybe they'll like the new manuscript better. I do personally feel like this manuscript is better than my last one, and I hope that every book I write will be better than the one before, because that just means that I'm improving as an author. So just wanted to add that in here. Obviously, this is a very anxiety-inducing time, and I do think my confidence has taken a hit because of my previous querying experience. I've also just like been having stuff going on in my life that's not writing related. I was supposed to go to Sleuth Fest this week, which is the conference for mystery writers of America, but it got canceled due to Hurricane Helene. It was supposed to be in St. Petersburg, which obviously traveling to St. Petersburg this week would not have been a good idea. I've also been having like some minor health issues where I've been having tinnitus or ringing in my ears for like 3 weeks. And the doctor thinks that I have an undiagnosed allergy. So she put me on medicine for that, but it still has not totally eradicated the tinnitus. And I'm currently trying to find another ENT because the one in town can't see me until November. So those are just some of the other things that I'm dealing with at the moment, and I'm just trying to keep a positive mindset because it's been a lot. So that's it. I think I'm gonna let myself do something fun this weekend, like go on a road trip or something, because I was supposed to be in St. Petersburg and obviously that didn't happen. I had to cancel my PTO at work. It was super sad. So I'm gonna do something fun to try to get my mind off my troubles and just, you know, do something enjoyable, go somewhere. So that's about it for this update, and we'll talk again soon. All right, so I went through all of the in-document comments that I got from the agented author who read my manuscript, and I also edited some of the scenes that I identified as needing edits based on her feedback. So almost done, I guess. The current manuscript word count is, as of now, 89,491. So it went up a little bit more, but still can round down to 89,000. I don't know why I'm so attached to the 89,000 word count. It's just, I guess because I like the idea of it being under 90, because I know that agents and editors are looking for books that are maybe a little on the shorter side, just because obviously printing is very expensive and they want to make sure they're making a good investment. So I guess maybe that's why I really like the idea of the manuscript being under 90. My last one, I think the last manuscript I queried, I did edits that actually pushed it up to like closer to 93,000 words, and I think that manuscript was too long. So 89,000 to me sounds better. And you might be like, Jackie, it's only the difference of 4,000 words. Why does it matter that much? I don't know. I think just because people do like shorter books from debut authors, and mysteries and thrillers in particular, they want them to be a little shorter. So I think I like the idea of being under 90K. It just makes me feel good for some reason. The only other comment that she made that I still need to ruminate on a little bit is, I don't think this is a spoiler, but like I've mentioned before, you know, in every mystery, if your character is not a professional investigator whose like job it is to investigate crimes, you need to have a reason why they feel like they need to investigate this crime. And in my book, it is the case of like one of the characters feels like they're a suspect, so they're like, okay, well, we need to find who really did this because they're gonna pin it on you, basically. She said like those stakes worked for her, but even though the characters kept talking about how, you know, you're a suspect, we need to solve this, she felt like they should have been more scared, like more afraid of this character going to jail. So I need to think about that. Like, do I feel like I could edit it to do that and have like more visceral emotions, you know? It's kind of tricky because I think a lot of mysteries and thrillers like to introduce a ticking clock, as they call it. Like, for instance, you know, we need to solve this in 3 days or this really terrible thing will happen. And I don't think that's something that I can do in my book. I don't think it'll really like work. And also in some of my beta reader edits, I did introduce like physical evidence that makes him look guilty to make it more understandable why he would be a suspect. But there's not like enough evidence that he would like 100% be arrested and convicted, you know? So how do I make it come across as like a really, you know, desperate scenario without it being overkill? I don't know. I need to like look back and see like if that critique is resonating and like how I think I could drive it home. I think the hard thing about editing at this point is people, you know, when they give me comments, I'm like, oh, but I thought I took care of that already, you know? So I just have to reframe my thinking and be like, okay, well, how can I make this more successful? I don't know if any of this is making any sense at all, or I just sound I don't know. I feel like whenever I'm talking about what I'm doing in these editing vlogs, it always comes across to me as sounding so incredibly vague because like I can't talk about the specifics of the story. So I feel like I never make any sense. So we're almost done, I think, but still have more things that I want to think about. And like I've said before, I am not nearly as confident this time because even though I like the book and I think it's good, I think it has a great concept, and people who have read it have told me they really enjoyed it, I feel like since I already failed once, I'm like, you know, if the stakes don't feel super intense, does that mean it's not going to get an agent? If, you know, the epilogue is too long, will that prevent me from getting an agent? Like, is my character memorable enough to get an agent? You know, like there's always that fear of, okay, but is it good enough? Like, it's good, is it good enough? And I just can't shake that. So that's my status update. And I feel like I'm rambling, so let's end now. Also, I hope you enjoyed that footage from my little road trip and the walk on the beach that I took yesterday. There were dolphins. You could see them in the water. I took a video so you all could see. So hopefully you saw the dolphins. They were like so cute. There were several of them, all dolphin friends swimming out to sea. It was super cute. Hello, it is now Saturday and I haven't updated the vlog all week because, to be honest, I haven't really done that much with the book. It has been a busy week, and to be honest, I was not in a good headspace because I went to the ENT drove an hour round trip to go see the ENT, and he said that I have great hearing, so he has no idea why I'm having tinnitus, and basically his advice was, just don't stress, maybe it'll go away. So that was pretty discouraging, but now I'm just trying to maintain a positive attitude, and I'm starting the final reread of my manuscript, so we're gonna be ready to go soon. My mom, who's the first person who read it, she also said that she would be willing to reread it if I wanted, and I said, like, sure, if you want to, you can. And she actually said to me today, like, oh, I like rereading this because I'm reading it and I'm thinking, oh, this is even better. So hey, for what that counts, she thinks that it's, you know, much better now. She liked it to begin with, and she thinks it's really improved. So almost done, you know? I think I'm kind of at peace with it at this point, where, like, I think I've done all that I can. And so assuming that I don't think of any other things in my last reread, I think it's about time for this to go out, and obviously it's going to be what it's going to be. I think that I did good work, and, you know, is it good enough? I don't know, but I'm proud of what I've done with this, and, you know, I can't sit on it forever. Like, I think I'm happy with how it is. Hopefully somebody will really enjoy it and want to offer me literary representation and then ultimately publication. But I'm gonna do this last reread just to confirm that everything is how I want it, and then we'll wrap up this vlog. Okay, so bad news. There's a hurricane coming. I live in North Florida, so if it hits, it will definitely not hit as badly as it would in South Florida, but where I live, we might possibly be hit by a tropical storm or a Category 1 hurricane, which is not fun. Good news, I finally started working on rereading my manuscript, and I already got through 12 chapters, which I feel really great about. I read it very quickly because, like I said, I'm trying to read it as if it's somebody else's book and not my book. So I'm enjoying what I read. Like, I'm kind of, you know, feeling like this is good, you know? And obviously I'm biased and I don't know what agents are gonna think, but I'm proud of what I have. So keep your fingers crossed for me. I also went to the outlet mall yesterday and bought myself a bag because I have been having a rough time lately and I deserve it. It's super cute. It was only $84 at the outlet. And so I also have 2 Michael Kors bags that one of them I bought for myself as a gift, like when I got my job. And I don't remember when I bought the other one. I might have bought the other one when I started querying last time, like as a gift to myself. So since I've been doing a lot of hard work, I got myself this as a gift. Only $84 at the outlet. Did I say that? Pretty good for a designer bag. But so now I have the Michael Kors, 1 white and 1 black, and this brown Kate Spade. So now I have all of the bags that I could possibly need for any outfit that I wear. And what I really like about this one is that it has a little pocket in the back so I could easily slip my phone in. I was literally talking to the camera for like a minute before I realized that it wasn't on. Anyways, what I was saying is that, you know, I just feel like I've been kind of a Debbie Downer in this vlog, so I was like, hey, let me show you something nice that I got for myself and let you know that I'm doing all right. You know, to be completely honest, I do feel like the universe has been punching me in the face recently with my newfound tinnitus that doctors can't help me with, and possibly 2 hurricanes disrupting my plans. But the thing is, I can't control what happens. I can only control my reaction to it. So I am working on having a more peaceful state of mind. I think I'm gonna start taking up meditation. It's something that I've wanted to do for a long time, but I've just never been able to commit to it. So I think that might be something I try out to try to invest in myself and work on just having a better mindset. So I feel like I've been kind of a Debbie Downer in this vlog and things haven't been great, but you know, things are getting better. And you know, I didn't want to be too depressing here. Like, we all have bad times, but it's gonna be okay. And I do feel really good about the writing stuff that I've done. So I'm cautiously optimistic. Hello everybody, sorry if the lighting in here is not great, but I need to post this vlog tomorrow, so let's wrap things up. I just finished rereading my manuscript. My mom is still in the process of rereading it for me, so I might make a few more minor tweaks based on what she has to say. Any more edits I make, though, will just be like scene level or line level. I'm not going to be rewriting any major portions of this manuscript or anything like that. So I am basically done Project Dagger, and I'm thinking I'm going to start querying it. If not this week, then probably next week. I'm not really gonna share a lot of information about querying until there is something to share, obviously. Like, I'm not gonna chronicle every single, you know, rejection or full request on here. But obviously, if I get good news about anything, I will share it with you all when I can. I do still have some queries pending from my first manuscript. I haven't actively sent a query since I think May, but there are still some out there in the world. So we'll see if anything comes of that. But, you know, I will tell you if there's anything that I have to share. I still may make a few tweaks to Project Dagger before I actually send it out, but to just sum things up in this final Project Dagger writing vlog, I do feel really good about it, and I feel like it is a really good book. I'm happy with it, and I think it definitely has a great concept that I do think is probably more marketable than my first concept. But you know, things are going to be the way they are going to be. I definitely have had people who read my manuscript and genuinely loved it. So I just have to hope that there is an agent and a publisher out there who is also going to really, really love it and believe in it. But you know, part of succeeding in publishing is just getting something to the right person at the right time. So we will see how things go. But no matter what happens, I'm really proud of the work that I've done over the past year and change on this manuscript. And I know that writing is my passion. And so I'm gonna keep trying until I can't try anymore. I really hope that someday this will be a book that you all will be able to read. Thank you again to everyone who has beta read this manuscript for me and offered their feedback, and also to all of you who have watched these vlogs. Though I am not going to be filming querying vlogs, I am going to post more writing related videos in the future. I might make some about like how my strategy to querying has changed. So I might talk about it like vaguely in that way. Like, I'm not going to tell you like, oh, an agent rejected me today or things like that, but I might talk about querying in the abstract. And I'm thinking about trying to write some short stories in the coming months, so I might film that for the channel as well, and just other assorted writing related content. I'm not really sure what manuscript I'm going to write next. I think I haven't made up my mind about that at this point, and I think I need to see how things go, because I mean, to be honest with you, I originally imagined Project Dagger as a standalone, and now I really loved writing it, so now I kind of want to write a sequel. What would that sequel be about? I don't know. Would anybody be interested in the first book, let alone a sequel? I don't know. But, you know, maybe that's something that I'll write someday, maybe not. I think right now I'm just taking it one day at a time, and we'll see how things go. But I will still definitely have writing-related content on this channel for you all. So I think that is about it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please do give this video a big thumbs up. It really does help me and my channel grow, and it helps my content reach more people who will enjoy it. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday, and my social media links are in the description if you want to connect with me on those other platforms. If you are still here watching, wish me good luck in these next steps of my writing journey. And I think that pretty much covers it for this video, this final Project Dagger writing vlog. It feels like the end of something, but truthfully, it's only the beginning. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I hope that I will have good news to share sometime soon. And I think that is it for me and Project Dagger. So thank you so much. I love you all, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day.